If you are someone who feels nervous about becoming a mom and entering into motherhood because you already feel overwhelmed, you already feel overstimulated, so you just can't imagine adding a human into that, I feel you. I've been there. When I got pregnant, I also felt like that. I felt like, I already can't even manage my own life. How am I going to manage life plus a child? So today we're going to talk about just some tips and tricks and things that I did while I was postpartum that I feel like really helped me to feel not overstimulated, to feel calm, and to really feel confidence in this season. If you're new here, welcome back to Hot Mess Habits. My name is Victoria Harder. I'm your host. I am your fellow type B ADHD girly. I am a mom, a wife, a business owner. I work in marketing, and overall I do a lot of things. I have a lot of different passions, and this podcast is a place where I talk about all those things. I talk about just productivity tips and habits and just how we can blend balancing real life and also taking care of ourselves. And today's actually the first time that I'm specifically talking about motherhood and being a mom and what that looks like for someone with type B ADHD. I've definitely talked around the topic. I feel like I've made a lot of videos that are very general and very, there are things that I do, and some of that is because I'm a mom. But today we're going to specifically talk about motherhood and the postpartum experience. So I'm going to take you through, I think I have 8 tips on just how to manage that season really well. Obviously, as a little disclaimer, everyone's postpartum season is different. There can be a big impact on, how your birth went, how much support that you have, and all the things. But today we're just going to talk about generally some things that I think can apply to anyone and can be really helpful. So first of all, I just want to say that it's okay if during this time that you feel shocked and overwhelmed and whoa, what have I gotten myself into? Those feelings are so normal, and mixing in those feelings plus when you're physically recovering from something like birth, there's a lot going on. So it's very normal to feel those things. So we're not looking for perfection. This is not, obviously, postpartum is not the time to start a brand new in-depth routine, a workout regimen, anything like that. We are just aiming to okay, how can I show up for myself in this season really well? It's going to look a lot different than my normal, but how can I continue to show up for myself? What are kind of some bare minimum things that I can do to take care of myself even when there's a lot going on? So let's talk about these habits. First of all, I literally had these habits written down in a note in my phone because I would forget about them. I would forget the things that I wanted to do. So I had a little routine menu made for when I was postpartum, and I just wrote down a list of things that I wanted to try to do each day. Some days I did all of them. Other days I did most of them. Other days I did 1 or 2 of them, but I would always have that, or I had that written out, and that was helpful for me to refer to. The first thing on that list was to get fresh air every day. My goal when I was postpartum was to get fresh air every day. And let's just say that during the first days, what that looked like was me literally opening the front door and just standing in the front door, taking a few deep breaths of the fresh air and going back inside. Other days that looked like just sitting on the patio, literally taking one step out of the door, sitting down, spending a half an hour outside, breathing some fresh air. And then some days that also just looked like making sure my window was open to get some fresh air in. But I feel like the fresh air and the outside air really helps regulate your system and feeling okay, there's something beyond these 4 walls. There's an outside world. I just feel like it helped regulate me and helped regulate my emotions. Learning what type of day it was. I feel like when you're postpartum, your sleep is so all over the place. So being able to go outside and be okay, yeah, the sun is setting right now, or okay, it's dark out right now, or whatever it was, helps me realize okay, this is what time of day it is, and kind of reset my circadian rhythm. I also would sometimes try to bring my baby outside as well. My baby was born in June, so that was definitely easy for me to do because it was summer. So I would try to bring my baby out because I was okay, I just need to get him knowing that this is daytime, this is nighttime. I don't know if that actually helped him reset into his, right sleep rhythm, but I like to think that it did, just because it made me feel better about myself. Eventually, that obviously turned into walking and getting outside for a walk. So just being outside, making that a regular part of your routine, not even the being outside, but having fresh air is really helpful. So maybe at the beginning, you're not able to actually even like stand up to go outside, but getting whoever's like there with you to open the windows in the morning to just like remind yourself, okay, it's morning. We're going to open the windows, get some fresh air in, clear out all of the like bad sleep and night sweats and all the stuff and have a fresh new day. Okay, my second thing was just running the laundry every single day. No matter what, we ran a load of laundry each day. And sometimes you will have no choice but to do this and you'll run multiple loads a day. But I found that when we just ran the laundry every day, no matter what, no matter if the load was big or small, it helped us stay on top of it. Before I had a baby, I thought that people, like when people would be like, oh, you do so much laundry. I was like, oh, like how much laundry can you really do? Like, aren't their clothes really small? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. But then when I had a baby, I realized the reason you do so much laundry is because like, you know, you have milk leaking, you have bodily fluids leaking, like your baby gets like throws up on you. So it's not just that you're washing their clothes, it's that you're washing like your own clothes, you're washing burp cloths, like you have a lot of things to wash. So I just personally found that it was really helpful to just do a load of laundry every day and make that a part of like our regular routine at that time, rather than just kind of like letting everything pile up and then being like, oh my gosh, we have so much laundry to do, and trying to do like 8 loads in one day. Another note on laundry is not aiming for perfection at all with this. During the postpartum season, we honestly didn't really fold anything. We just made sure that it was clean. And let's just say sometimes I'm still like this, but especially during postpartum, I was not folding anything. It was just going like washer, dryer into a laundry basket, and then we were taking clothes and using stuff out of there. I still to this day with my toddler's clothes, we do not fold. We just do like shirts all go in here, pants all go in here, onesies all go in here. And I just find that it's so much easier as a mom that is not a perfectionist to just throw things in those bins and pull the things out of the bins rather than wasting my time folding, because it's the bane of my existence. The third thing is to remember your protein intake. As we know, if you don't know this, ADHD brains thrive on protein, especially for myself. Having early morning protein really helps to wake up my brain and to get it functioning properly. When I go through a day and I have very low amounts of protein, my ADHD symptoms flare up. I'm so much more irritable. I'm so much more tired. Like nothing goes well. When I was pregnant, I was pretty good about making sure that I was trying to get a good amount of protein. Then suddenly I had my baby and it was just not top of mind. It was something that I just completely forgot about. And I started to, I would start my day, I would have a bagel because it was easy to throw in the toaster. And that was kind of like it. And then I would maybe at lunchtime, same thing, just have another like carb thing without any protein. And I just noticed that I honestly started feeling really faintish, and I was like, what is happening to me? Like, what is going on? Why do I feel so faint? But I had gone from eating like a really high amount of protein in the morning before pregnancy to after pregnancy in this postpartum phase, eating like virtually, going from like eating like 35 grams of protein to eating like 8 grams of protein in the morning. And I really felt that in my body, especially I was breastfeeding. So especially adding that on, there's more strain on your body. So if anything, you need to up your protein intake. So definitely keep that in mind. Have things that are easily accessible for you. Ask someone to help you with just like, hey, can you make sure to like remind me that I need to have a high protein item in the morning? I ended up going and just buying the like Costco. At Costco, you can get like the Alani News or the Fairlife that like have protein in them. And I would just try to, if I didn't have the energy to like make eggs or do a big breakfast in the morning, I would at least have one of those, and I would know like, okay, I'm for sure getting like 20 grams of protein with this. If you're watching this and you're still like pregnant, prep some like egg bites, prep high protein things that you can really easily grab, because that will definitely save you. Anything that you can prep in advance that's like easy to eat one-handed, or that you can just prep by like warming up, that's the best. Okay, the next thing is having a mini diaper bag in each bag. So what I found postpartum is I didn't always want to bring, and this is maybe just a me thing, but I didn't always want to bring my huge diaper bag with me. So what I would do is I had like a diaper bag set up in each of my bags. I would have a pack of wipes, a diaper, and a snack for myself, because this was when I was postpartum, in every single bag. So I had a little like pouch, and I could in each of my bags, and I just had every bag that I owned stocked like that. Again, you could just use a diaper bag, but for me, I liked the accessibility of having those things in every single one of my bags. That way, if I ended up leaving the house and forgot to bring like our big diaper bag, it was there. Along with that too, we set up a little diaper caddy in our car, and we still have this to this day. And it's a little bin, and we have like an extra set of wipes, diapers, right now we have like a $10 bill in case we forget like our wallet and some Tylenol, things like that. And it's all just in our car, and that lives in our car, and I will restock it. And so that's like our last resort. If like, you know, if we forget all the bags, if we don't have anything with us, there's usually always something in there. And that has definitely saved us many, many times. I think that one of the things with ADHD is being forgetful, not always having things top of mind. And so the more that I can set myself up in advance to have like all of the things covered, you know, have every single bag stocked, the more likely it is that I will never be without a diaper. Okay, the next thing is about being overstimulated and using tools to help you not be overstimulated. For me, two things that I really relied on when I was postpartum is having my AirPods and my slippers, or a good pair of socks, okay? For me, some things that are very like sensory for me are, first of all, sound, like really loud sounds. I loved having noise canceling AirPods, and honestly, I sometimes would just put these in and put the noise canceling sound on and not even be listening to anything. But just like after the baby was sleeping or something, I feel like I just needed like sensory, like no noise, nothing. And so sometimes I put them in. I would maybe just lay down, or I would do chores and just have those in, and it was just great. I definitely also liked having the AirPods for just like hands-free nursing. If I wanted to like listen to a podcast or some music or something, just having those available was really nice. And I feel like, yeah, headphones can be great to help with just like noise stimulation and feeling calm about that. I obviously would not put them in and just like completely ignore my husband and baby, but there were times when it was just nice to have a little bit of a sensory break. Second thing with the slippers is just, I hate when things touch my feet. I hate when crumbs touch my feet. So if I'm like walking around and the floor is sticky and there's crumbs, there's nothing that drives me more crazy. And so, but obviously when you have a new baby, your priority is not like going to be sweeping or mopping your floor, like making sure things are perfectly clean. It's just not possible. And so having a really nice pair of socks, I don't know what it is, but like it really made me feel secure. This is, if you don't have ADHD, you're like, this girl's crazy. But I loved having my thick pair of Aritzia socks on, because even when I'd walk around in my socks, it wouldn't, like I couldn't feel any crumbs. And then the combination of that, the TNA socks with a good pair of slippers, was great. Then I could walk around the house. It gave me a little bit of sense of like I was like dressing up almost, because I had my shoes, aka slippers on. But then I wouldn't feel any crumbs. I wouldn't feel any stickiness. And it just didn't, sensory wise, it was great. And I think that just little things like this can just make you feel more regulated throughout the day. Along the same line, like if sensory-wise clothing is a big issue for you, making sure that you have a really comfy like postpartum outfit, a good postpartum bra, things like that can really go a long way. Okay, next, I know this can be a little bit of a controversial mom topic, but using an app to track my nursing feedings, okay? I think that the apps can be a little bit dangerous, especially if you have like an obsessive type of personality, because, or if you have any type of like postpartum anxiety or depression, you can get really like focused in on like tracking and like making sure that you're tracking every like poop, you're tracking every sleep, you're tracking like all the things. I personally did not choose to do that type of thing. Like I personally didn't choose to track every single thing, but what I did choose to track was my nursing sessions. And the reason that I chose to do that was because I know my tendency is to be time blind. And so there would be times when I would not realize how long it had been since I'd fed my baby. And if I did not like put it into my phone, I wouldn't be able to have a good reference of when the last time I fed him was. And so, you know, my time blindness is not the best, even when I am like doing great and healthy, never mind when I've just had a baby, my hormones out of whack and all the stuff. So that is why I chose to use an app to track my nursing feedings, because I wanted to make sure that I was feeding my baby in a timely manner. And my baby was pretty chill about nursing times, so I knew that I needed to keep track of it myself. So definitely recommend that. Obviously, make sure you're keeping yourself in check with if you're starting to feel like obsessive about how much you're tracking, or like if you're tracking a lot of things and it feels like you need to track, or like things don't count if they track, don't worry about it. I did also, one of the apps that I used synced up to my Apple Watch. And that was really nice, because then I didn't always have to have my phone with me. I could just like tap like start on my Apple Watch and it would track it for me. Anyways, there's lots of apps out there. I used one called Nara app because it was just pretty. It had like a little sun as the like a boho looking little sun as the emoji cover. So I used that one, but there's a million apps out there. Just don't pay for one. Like, I know that I think the Huckleberry one's the really expensive one, or like not really, I don't know if it's that expensive, but you have to pay for it and it gives you like insights and all this stuff. I feel like so much of that is a scam. It's just like, I don't know. We won't get into my controversial mom opinions today, but anyways, moving on. The next step, if you've been around for a while, you know we love a good menu. We love some options. We love a written out, routine schedule. And that is what I want you to do when it comes to your break times, quote unquote break times. So what happened at the beginning, the first few weeks, is that, I would be doing all the things. I'd be nursing, I'd be with my baby, I'd be rocking my baby would be awake, and then my baby would finally go to sleep. I'd put my baby down, and I knew that I would have I have anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I have this window of time. But then, because I had just my brain was in so many different places, I didn't even really know what to do at that time. And obviously at the beginning, yes, you need to rest, all this stuff. But I'm talking about a little bit beyond when we're feeling better. We feel like we have energy. We want to do some things. What you need to be doing is during the day, as you think of things, write down a list of all the little things that you want to do. So as you think about so if you're nursing your baby, or if you're with your baby doing something or whatever, and then your thought comes up of oh, I should really I need to text this person, or oh, I need to order this on Amazon. But in the moment, you don't actually want to do the thing, or oh, I really need to find the 0 to 3 month clothing that's in the back of the closet. These type of tasks, I want you to just write them down in your notes app as you think of them, no matter how big or small they are. Write them all down. And then this just helps eliminate the decision fatigue when it comes to, okay, my baby's down for a nap. I don't know for how long. I know that I want to do something, but it's also just I could just scroll on TikTok. I feel like having this list and having something written down really helps me to be oh, okay, no, I remember what tasks I want to do. Oh, this one's super easy for me to do, and I wanted to do them. So it just helped me just writing those things down to eliminate, that decision fatigue, and just feeling when I did get a break, I actually had stuff that I could do rather than just going on my phone, or feeling that sense of oh, I should be doing something, but I don't know what. Definitely having ADHD and being a mom comes with challenges. And, it can be easy for us to feel overwhelmed and overstimulated, but just creating these small habits and leaning on, knowing what our tendencies are, knowing that we have the tendency to be time blind and forget things and all these things, the more that we can work on just building out good habits and routines that help support that and help acknowledge the fact that, we do have these tendencies, we do have ADHD, but we're going to persevere and work on this. Being a mom has been honestly the greatest joy of my life. I'm so thankful that I get to be a mom, and that, and it has completely transformed and changed my life and my priorities and all the stuff. And so I'm just so thankful that even though there are days that are hard and feel overstimulating, it is still just the greatest gift that I could have ever asked for. And so I just want to encourage you that if you are feeling, whether you're pregnant and you're expecting, or you're just thinking about what it would be like to be a mom, I just want to encourage you and say that, there are things that are really hard about it, but also there are so many things that are just so beautiful about it and just outweigh those hard moments. I just encourage you to give yourself grace and embrace the fact that this is a learning season. This is a new challenge. Just remember that we're all on this journey together. If you are a fellow ADHD mom, I would love to hear from you in the comments about just if you did any of these things, if you have any tips, if you're further along on your journey and you have any advice or tips, please let me know below. Let me know if you are a mom or if you're not a mom, and also if you want more types of episodes like this. I definitely feel hesitant to talk about mom life because I don't really want the focus of my content to be solely around motherhood and my kid, but I do like talking. I obviously love talking about it, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing a good balance of talking about lifestyle and productivity and habits. But I can also definitely do more episodes on motherhood and things like this if that's something that you guys are interested in. So definitely let me know. Thanks again so much for listening, you guys. I really appreciate you all. I know that this month was a little bit here and there with the episodes. And so I just always am thankful for your guys' patience and that you still just cheer me on, even when I'm not the most consistent, because, you know, you guys have been there and you feel me. So I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we'll chat with you guys next Tuesday.